जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधार्विक गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्रील गुरुदेव की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत शिल गोक्षर बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट शिल सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानु गौड़िया गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नामचय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाय जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। जय श्री भक्ति विनोद श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। हिज भजन रहस्य की जय। श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोसाई पार की जय। चैतन्य चरितमृत एंड गोविंद लीलामृत की जय। जय Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. All the associates of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay, we'll do the Mangala Charan and then I will see who is joining us. अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। श्रीसिद्धान्त सरस्वती विदितो गौरीय गुर्वन्वये भातो भानुरिव प्रभात गगने योगोरसङ्कीर्तनाय मायावारतिमिङ्गिलो दरगतान् उद्धृत्य जीवनिमान् कृष्णप्रेमसुधाब्धिकाहन सुखं प्रादात् प्रभुं तं भजे। वन्दे भक्तिविनोदं श्रीगौरशक्तिस्वरूपकं भक्तिशास्त्रज्ञसम्राजं राधारससुधानिधिं नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय ते श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Bhaktya Vihina no, Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptascha Kamadittaranga Madhye Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charana Ravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's recite Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja's Pranam Mantra. One second, let me just open this up. I think it's, where is it? Somewhere in the middle of this. Here it is. Korvabhishta Supurakam Guru Ganar Ashisha Sambhushitam. What was the meter for this again? One second, let me just figure it out. Govinda. It's okay. Gorvabhishta Supurakam Guru Ganar Ashisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Pantanugam Govindabhidamujjvalang Varatanu Bhaktyanvitang Sundaram Vande Vishwagurung Chadevya Bhagavat Premno hi bija pradam. I offer my obeisances unto he who perfectly fulfills his Gurudev's most cherished desires, who is fully adorned with the blessings of his Gurudev's associates, who is expert in all aspects of Vedic knowledge, both conceivable and inconceivable, who is the preeminent follower of Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhu's line, who is known. Oh, this is Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj's Pranam Mantra. Sorry. Okay, let's do this one. That is a nice Pranam Mantra though. Like that's a nice okay. Devang Divyatanung Suchanda Vadanang Palarka Chelanchitam Sandranandapuram Sareka Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Shri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitang Sarasvatanam Varang Vande Tang Shubhadam Areka Sharanam Nyasishwaram Śrīdharam. I think it's nice to recite Srimad Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj's Pranam Mantra before we read Śrīla Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja. But now, Śrīla Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja's Pranam Mantras. I offer my obeisance unto my Lord Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja, whose speech is most pleasing, whose divine form is adorned with garments the color of the newly risen sun, who is an abode of intense ecstatic devotion, who is the sadhu's sole choice, who is an ocean of renunciation and knowledge, who is a treasure house of perfect conclusions, who is resplendent with pure devotion, who is the best of Srila Saraswati Thakur's followers, who is the giver of all good, who is the leading general of the Tridandi sannyasis, and who is my sole shelter. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. All right. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees, Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji and Nanda Nandan Prabhu. Great to see you, Prabhu. And on YouTube and Facebook, there are 6 devotees. I only see comments from 3 devotees, though. So, yeah. I see Ganga Mataji, Vidyalala Sadidi, and Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams Maharaj, and Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Haribol. And I'm guessing Indira Mataji and Raseshwari Mataji and Krishna Mai Didi and Vidyalalasa Didi. Oh, wait, I already saw Vidyalalasa Didi. Yeah. And if I'm missing your name, please forgive me. You can write a comment and then I'll see your name. Also, pranams to all devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Revati Didi, Manjari Didi, Krishna Rose, everybody, Haribol. And Haribol Champak Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Okay, so let's begin. We are reading the biography of Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja, which I found on this website, sridharvani.com, SRIDHARAVANI.com. And yeah, it's a website done by disciples of Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja, Sri Lokanath Prabhu and Kundalata Devi. I don't know them, but yeah. It's solely focused on Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja, no other person. So that was interesting. Okay, so we read the first third. It was all his whole growing up, and it ended with his first darshan, and then after that, his first interaction with Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, his eternal master. So let's see. Where was that? Okay, well, I think a key word was Parishnath. Yeah, Parishnath temple. Do you want to read this part over again, just to get a recap? Maybe this, because this is pretty significant. Yeah, let's just read from here. Why not? So it was then that it was then he found that placard and went to Gaudiya Math. He found only one gentleman manning the outside hall, because the rest had all gone on procession of Nagar Sankirtan. After a little talk with that gentleman, he found that these people representing the Math had a deeper and more sound knowledge than he had about Chaitanya Dev and other scriptures. Then the party came back from Nagar Sankirtan, and he saw Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in front with his danda. As soon as he reached the front of the Math, some disciple came and took the danda from him, and gradually he was received there. At first sight, he found that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's attitude was that of complete indifference to the ordinary world, not caring for anyone, being self-sufficient. He then began visiting regularly, and he was invited to but he hasn't yet had an interaction with Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada yet. But yeah, he began visiting regularly the Math and was invited to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance ceremony at Mayapur. At that time, his mother was also inviting him to the village of Gumo, where she was staying with his second brother. She wanted to see him before going to Haridwar, and the Gaudiya Math people were also inviting him to Mayapur at the same time. So he was in a dilemma, what to do. Srila Śrīdhara Maharaj recalls, "It was my mother's call, and maybe the last. She might not live. Her health is not good. This was the call, and I thought, I want to take this side in my life. So this side must be given preference. That is, I avoided the call of my mother to see her, and I went to the Gaudiya Math instead." While he was visiting regularly, he gradually came to realize that he wanted to stay in such gentlemanly and educated company. But new thoughts came to him as to why he couldn't. He cast his glance homeward. His father had gone. His mother and 3 younger brothers were still living. they wouldn't be affected much. But his wife would be affected. Suddenly a thought came in his mind that if she dies, he would be free. That very day, when he returned home that night, he found that his wife was ill, and after 3 days, she passed away. His mother tried her best to have him married again, but she could not do so. Then, within 6 months, one of his brothers, Satyan, his mother, her sisters, and other pilgrims attended the Kumbh Mela in Haridwar, and at that time his mother also disappeared from the world. Then, thinking he was free to visit the Math, he wanted to know as much as possible about the mission and the leader of the mission. He tried to go upstairs to where Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur stayed, but one Kirtanananda Brahmachari stopped him a little harshly. He said, "No, never. You must stay here in the waiting room, and when you find anyone, you will inform him who you want to meet. He will check, and when he returns with the answer, you can go. Otherwise, you must stay here. Never cross this threshold." Then Srila Śrīdhara Maharaj thought, what should be the considerate nature of the sadhus? Why should there be any difference outwardly and inwardly? So he thought that he need not visit there again. But at that very moment, the position of Shukadeva appeared in his mind. He had read in Mahabharata that Srila Vyasadeva sent Srila Shukadeva Gosvāmī to Rajarshi Janak to finish his education or sadhan. Srila Shukadeva came, and he was detained for 7 days at the outer gate. Then information went to Janak, who sanctioned him to pass. The next gate, he was again detained. In this way, there were 7 boundaries of the capital, and at each of the 7 gates, he was detained for 7 days. So for 49 days, he was detained before he could meet Janak. And so with this thought, Srila Śrīdhara Maharaj concluded that if there is anything bad here, and they take me and put me onto a throne to worship me, I should not come here. If there is real good, and they beat me with a broomstick, I must not leave. And he kept visiting. Then, one day, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was strolling on the roof after his afternoon prasadam, and Srila Śrīdhara Maharaj approached and stood at a distance in the corner. After Srila Bhaktisiddhanta inquired through his attendant if he had anything to say, if he had something to ask, if he had some purpose in mind for visiting the Math, Srila Śrīdhara Maharaj replied that his only purpose was to gain the grace of you all, nothing else but that. So he said that to the attendant, right? Yeah. And then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati then approached him and inquired who he was, what he did, where was his home, and so on, saying how fortunate he was to be born in the area of Gaura Mandal. Then one booklet they had printed was offered to Srila Śrīdhara Maharaj, but he told the attendant he already had a copy of it, but was told, that does not matter. With his good will, he is giving this to you, so it is something else. He then took that on his head and accepted that book. That was his first talk with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And this is where we left off yesterday. Hare Krishna, Bilva Mangal Prabhu, and Shama Didi, Hare Krishna. Okay, so before Srila Śrīdhara Maharaj's mother died, she had some apprehension that her eldest son would become a sannyasi without completing her Shraddha ceremony, her last rites. So when she passed away, he went home and completed her Shraddha, and then, in the last part of April, went to join the Math. He first wanted his 2 younger brothers to finish their studies and take to their vocations, and then he would join the Math. But Shripad Bharati Maharaj and others, I think that's Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj. But Shripad Bharati Maharaj and others said, No, Krishna has taken your wife and your mother. He has done enough for you. If you neglect to avail yourself of this chance, perhaps some other obstacle will come, and this life will be spoiled with no hope. Come immediately. Śrīla Śrīdhara Mahārāja recalls, when I first came to the Gaudiya Math, I mixed very carefully with the devotees. I thought, the transcendental truths that I hear from these devotees don't come within the clutches of worldly intelligence. But still, when I want to throw myself into that association, I shall use my reason and intellect as far as possible, understanding that I am going to jump into something which will be beyond my calculation. From their talks in general, I found that they do not care for the opinion of anyone else. With abhorrence, they summarily reject all the stalwarts of the then society. They don't care for anyone. But when anything is quoted from the scripture, they are all in all. They give a patient hearing. They soberly consider and evaluate. This was their nature. They care only for scriptural truth. They say that what they teach is the only truth and that all else is false. They say everyone is suffering from ignorance, and what we say is the right thing. I thought, what is this? A sane person cannot easily swallow such a bitter pill. I also could not digest it so easily at first, but I had an attraction, a taste for them, and I could identify with them. But what they were saying was confirmed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and the Upanishads. All these authorities say, yes, it is so. If you know him, everything is known. If you get him, everything is gotten. Yatha toror mula nishechena tripyanti tat skanda. Oh yeah, this is a famous verse. Yatha toror mula nishechena tripyanti tat skanda pujo pashakha prano paharach chayatendriyanam tataiva sarvarhanam achuteja. When you pour water onto the roots of the tree, the whole tree is automatically fed. Similarly, when you supply food to the stomach, the whole body is fed. So in the same way, if you can gain knowledge of the prime cause Brahman, then you can know anything and everything. Similarly, if we do service to the center to satisfy the central conception of the Supreme Absolute, everything is served and all our obligations are automatically fulfilled. That's from the 4th canto of Bhagavatam, chapter 31, verse 14. Still, there was some sort of objection. One was that Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada comes from a Kayastha family. That is considered Shudra. And I come from a Brahman Pandit's family of great honor in the society. Ostensibly, any Brahman should have been suitable. In this way, some sort of objection was felt in me. Then, when I went to Mayapur, I again saw many things that touched me. Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was delivering a lecture to so many gentlemen who had come from Krishna Nagar, educated persons. In another place, the elderly Shripad Bhakti Pradeep Tirtha Maharaj was giving a lecture. Somewhere else, Shripad Bhakti Swarup Parvat Maharaj was found writing receipts, collecting funds from the people. It was a hive of activity. I felt a transcendental happy atmosphere there. When the celebration was over, Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada was sitting in a canvas chair on the veranda of his room, and many people were offering him obeisances and going home. At that time, Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was giving a lecture, and some of the things he was saying was, "Don't cheat me. You all came with the understanding that you will engage yourself in the service of Krishna, and so I have entered into some relationship with you. And now Only as a fashion, you have attended the ceremony, and you are going home to engage yourselves in worldly affairs. But your assurance to me was that you would all serve Krishna. You may say, "Oh, I have got some important business, and after finishing this, I shall come and join you as soon as possible." But no, no. If you tell me there's just a little fire, and after extinguishing the fire you will return, then I say that this is also not necessary. If there's a fire, and I'll just extinguish this fire, then no. If fire burns the whole world, you do not lose anything. Rather, you are spared if you can disconnect from those things that are burnt. All your positive engagement, your inner hankering, has corresponding things in Krishna. All your necessities and hankering will be satisfied in the service of the holy lotus feet of Krishna and nowhere else. Oh, and Haribo Manini Radha. Haribo. So Srila Śrīla Maharaj was wonderstruck with such forceful speaking and thought he would never hear anywhere in this world such intense necessity for Krishna bhajan, and took the decision then to be a disciple there and remained in the mutt. In 1923, he was attracted by the grace of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and at Gaudiya Math in Kolkata, he heard Srila Bhakti Siddhanta's holy talks of the Supreme Lord. Not long after that, in December of 1926, with full surrender, he joins Sri Gaudiya Math. He left home and joined the mission and became a disciple of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in 1927. His Gurudev was overjoyed, and he quoted this famous shloka in appreciation. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tattarevetaro jana sayat pramanam kurute lokastar anuvartate. It's from Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, verse 21. It means the general masses imitate the ways of great men. They follow whatever the great personality accepts as the right conclusion. He was requested to stay at the Kolkata Mutt to do some service in the press there, but he was not inspired by the work of proofreading, etc. He had been in the mission perhaps only a year or so, and on the day of appearance of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there was a festival. A pandal had been erected on the street. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's appearance day, I think, is in 40-something days from now. So a pandal had been erected in the street at number 1 Ulta Dingi Junction Road, and meetings were going on there. One respectable jamandar, one landlord, was invited by his god brother Gosvāmī Mahārāja, Srila Bhakti Saranga Gosvāmī Mahārāja, and he asked Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, "I want to have a very private talk with you." It was on a dark night, and a meeting was arranged. 2 chairs were placed together. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada came there, and that gentleman sat close to him, this landlord. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Srila Śrīla Maharaj was thinking that Prabhupada should not be left alone, and so managed to take a position a little distance away in the darkness. He was also very curious. What does he have to say? Then that man, very close to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada's ear, whispered, "Have you seen God?" Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada's answer was, what is the good of saying that I have seen or I have not seen? As long as you don't know how to see or know what is necessary to see God, you cannot get any benefit by my mere statements that I have seen or I have not seen. You are blind to both things. The first thing is that you should learn how to see God. You must get that sort of eye to see God. Without that, any man may say, I have seen. But what is that to you? You may be deceived. If I say, no, I have not seen your God, what you have concocted within you as God, that will also misguide you. Srila Śrīla Maharaj wanted to preach. Srila Śrīla Maharaj wanted to preach and was sent on a preaching tour. The first stop was at the Dumurkonda Mat in Bengal, and from there to Benares, Varanasi, then to Vrindavan, where there was Nagar Kirtan for some time. Then to Delhi, where there was door-to-door collection for some time. Then Kurukshetra Mat was established, and he was made Mat commander there, alone, doing collection for 2 or 3 years. There's a really nice thing in Golden Volcano of Divine Love about that. Anyways, the small village town and the place of Kurukshetra is a solitary place, except for during the solar eclipse, when there is a great rush of hundreds of thousands of people. Then the Delhi Mat was founded, and he was in charge there. He then visited Simla, that's North India, and other places for preaching, that's like far up north. I want to read this thing about Kurukshetra, though, from Golden Volcano of Divine Love. It's so nice. So let me just find it. What would be a cute? I guess I just type in Kurukshetra. Let's see if I can quickly find. If I can't quickly find it, then I won't waste your time. But let's see. Let's see if it comes up if I type in Kurukshetra. Do I need to type it with diacritics? Huh. Why is it not coming? Oh, oops. I wrote Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra. Okay. Um, yeah, this is it. Okay. So Śrīla Gosvāmī says, the heart of Krishna. We must place our faith in these subtle things. Only through faith of a finer order can we be led to that highest quarter. The highest conception is in the heart of Krishna, and we have to enter into the heart of Krishna, not any other place. Although Krishna's conjugal pastimes with the gopis, the Madhurya Lila, are supreme, they cannot stand alone. There are many other things which are present in his pastimes. Krishna's pastimes with his friends and parents are essential in supporting his pastimes of amorous love. Conjugal love is, of course, the main thing, but still it is dependent on the other paraphernalia of Krishna's pastimes. There must be Krishna's family and friends, and all the different groups of servitors. Even the environment of Vrindavan itself also has its valuable part to play. And what is Vrindavan? The sands of the river Yamuna, the jungle, the birds, peacocks and deer, the cows, cowboys, and the caves of Govardhan Hill, the motherly relatives, everything is there, and it is well designed and most suitable for the pastimes of Sri Krishna. Vrindavan is necessary for the pastimes of Radha and Govinda. When Radharani meets Krishna in Kurukshetra, her mind runs to Vrindavan. She thinks, Krishna is here and I am also here, but her mind runs to Vrindavan. In Kurukshetra, Srimati Radharani is hankering for the environment of Vrindavan. She wants to have Sri Krishna's company there. All of Krishna's paraphernalia and divine associates have their own unique value and cannot be eliminated. Radha Govinda cannot be taken away from Vrindavan any more than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot be taken from Navadvip. The whole thing is a system. One part cannot be snatched away from the other parts. All the devotees have a necessary part to play in order to create the harmony of Krishna's pastimes. Otherwise, it would not be living, but dead, artificial, useless. It cannot even be imagined. Krishna Lila is an organic whole. Srimati Radharani says, "My mind is running straight towards Vrindavan. I have the main object of pleasure, Krishna himself, but it is useless without the favorable paraphernalia of Vrindavan." So Radharani's pain of separation arises to the highest point in Kurukshetra, where she has attained the object of her union after a long separation. There, Krishna is very close, but without being surrounded by the favorable paraphernalia of Vrindavan, she cannot have the real advantage of union. In this way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained the mood of Srimati Radharani in Kurukshetra. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur once revealed the importance of Kurukshetra in a unique way. The words of our Guru Maharaj were mostly very revolutionary. When I was a beginner, with only 2 years or so in the Gaudiya Math, I was in charge of the Kurukshetra temple. Once I came to the Kolkata headquarters at the hired house in Ultadanga for the yearly preaching festival. After the festival, I was to return to Kurukshetra. Srila Prabhupada was thinking of opening a theistic exhibition in Kurukshetra, showing with dioramas how Krishna and his friends came there from Dwarka, and the gopis came there from Vrindavan. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam that during the solar eclipse, they came to bathe in Ram Harad, a sacred lake in Kurukshetra. Srila Prabhupada wanted to show that pastime with a diorama, and so the exhibition was arranged. He ordered handbills to be printed, and 20,000 circulated in the area, inviting people to come for the exhibition. Vrindavan, not for shallow thinkers. What's that? Okay, so in this connection, he told us, "You all know that only the bogus, hollow people and men of shallow thinking like Vrindavan." I was very much perplexed to hear this. I had been told that Vrindavan is the highest place of spiritual perfection. I had heard that one who has not mastered his senses cannot enter Vrindavan. Only the liberated souls can enter Vrindavan and have the opportunity of discussing Krishna Lila. Vrindavan is for the liberated souls. Those who are not liberated from the demands of their senses may live in Navadvip, but the liberated souls may live in Vrindavan. Now, Prabhupada was saying that the shallow thinkers appreciate Vrindavan, but a man of real bhajan, real divine aspiration, will aspire to live in Kurukshetra. Hearing this, I felt as if I had fallen from the top of a tree. What is this? I thought. I am a very acute listener, so I was very keen to catch the meaning of his words. The next thought he gave us was that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, after visiting many different places of pilgrimage, remarked, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, "I would like to spend the last days of my life in Kurukshetra. I shall construct a cottage near Ram Harad and pass the rest of my life there. Kurukshetra is the real place of bhajan." Shrewd merchants. Why? Service is more valuable according to the intensity of its necessity. Shrewd merchants seek a market in wartime because in that dangerous position, money is spent like water without any care for its value. They can earn more money if a war comes. In the same way, when Srimati Radharani's necessity reaches its zenith, service to her becomes extremely valuable. According to its necessity, service is valued. And in Kurukshetra, Srimati Radharani is in the highest necessity because Krishna is so close, but their Vrindavan Leela is impossible. In a football game, if the ball is just inches from the goal, but again comes back, it is considered a great loss. In the same way, After a long separation, Krishna is there in Kurukshetra. So the hankering for union felt by his devotees must come to its greatest point. But because he is in the role of a king, they cannot meet intimately. The circumstances do not allow the Vrindavan Leela to take place. So at that time, Srimati Radharani needs the highest service from her group, the Sakis. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that in that situation, a drop of service will draw the greatest amount of prem, divine love. In the pastimes of Radha Govinda, there are two aspects: Sambhog, divine union, and Vipralamba, divine separation. When Radha and Krishna are very near to each other, but can't meet intimately, service at that time can draw the greatest gain for the servitors. Therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I shall construct a hut on the bank of Ramhrad in Kurukshetra and contemplate rendering service to the divine couple. If I can achieve that standard where the prospect of service is so high, then there is no possibility of returning to this mundane plane at any time. Wow, I want to continue reading this, but maybe we should continue with the biography. How much longer is this? Let's just read this one more, this last section. It's not the last section, but anyways, let's just read this part. So the fifth, upon arriving in Kurukshetra, Srimati Radharani said, Priya soyam Krishna sahachari, sorry, Priya soyam Krishna sahachari Kurukshetra militas tatahang saradha tadidam ubhayo sangama sukham. Tatapyanta kelan madura murali panchamajushe mano me kalindi pulina vipinaya sprihayati. That's from by Śrīla Rupa Goswami, and it's in his Padyavali. So, oh my dear friends, now I am at last reunited with my most beloved Krishna in Kurukshetra. I am the same Radharani, and he is the same Krishna. We are enjoying our meeting, but still I wish to return to the banks of the Kalindi, where I could hear the sweet melody of his flute sounding the fifth note beneath the trees of the Vrindavan forest. Wherever Radharani and Krishna are, Vrindavan is necessary. And Vrindavan means the favorable paraphernalia. In this way, Vrindavan is unique. When Krishna met the inhabitants of Vrindavan in Kurukshetra, he first came to Nanda and Yashoda's camp after their long separation to show parental respect to them. In the midst of their great disappointment, they felt, oh, our boy has come to see us at last. It was as if life had returned to the dead. After some courtesy was shown to them, Krishna made arrangements to meet privately with the gopis, and suddenly he appeared in their camp. Externally, Krishna was the leader of so many kings in India, and the gopis had come from some unknown quarter, where they lived in the jungle in the society of milkmen. Externally, they had no position, and Krishna held the highest position in the political and royal society. He was the central figure, like the eyeball in every eye. And they were in a helpless, poor, and neglected condition. The gopis pleaded with Krishna, saying, Ahushchate nalina nabhapadara vindam Yogeshwara hridi vichintyam agada bodhai Sangsara kupa patito taranavalam Geham jusham apimanasya udiyat sadana. The group of gopis told Krishna, O you who have a lotus navel, we know that the great master yogis who have nothing to do with this mundane world try to meditate upon your holy lotus feet. Their interest is in higher realization in the conscious world. They are said to center their highest attention on your lotus feet. And those who are busy elevating their life in this world of exploitation are also busy worshiping your lotus feet to escape the entanglement of action and reaction. The center of interest for the elevationists, the karmis, and the salvationists, the jnanis and yogis, is your lotus feet. And what are we? We are simple people from the country with cows we are simple people from the country with cows as our wealth. We are animal traders who live in the country, trade in the cow business, and sell curd and milk on the outskirts of society. We are neither scientific exploiters, nor are we the kind of exploiters who do research in the world of consciousness. We only know family life. We have no other qualifications. We are busy with our family life in the lower section of society. But in our audacity, we pray that if at any time you would kindly condescend to extend your lotus feet to our negligible hearts, we would think ourselves blessed. We are busy in our family matters. We do not know scriptural life or the methods of the salvationists. We know nothing of yoga, Gyan, Vedanta, or the Vedas. Our ultimate concern is neither with the scriptures or moral standards. We hold a negligible position in society and simply pray that in the midst of our family life, we may remember your holy lotus feet. Please grant this to us. We can't expect anything more from you. That was their petition. Krishna replied to them saying, Mai bhakter hi bhutanam amritatvaya kalpate. Tishtya yad asinmat sneho bhavatinam marapanam. Yes, I know. People wants devotion to me to achieve eternal life, to cross the limit of mortality, and to have eternal life. They come to me and worship me. For these reasons, they want my service. But fortunately for you, you have some natural affection towards me. That will ultimately bring you to me. That is the formal or superficial meaning of what was spoken by Krishna and the gopis. But the great preceptors of our line have squeezed out another meaning from these prayers. They are conscious of the real private relationship between the two parties. So they have drawn out another meaning based on the divine sentiment between the lovers and between the lover and beloved. When the gopis prayed to Sri Krishna at Kurukshetra, their real meaning was this. Oh, we remember that one day you sent Uddhav to console us. He recited many scriptural references about how the whole world is mortal, how it is nothing, how we shall all have to die. Affection has no great value. Attachment must be cut out. He said that we must try to liberate ourselves from any attraction to the environment and attain salvation. You wanted to tell all these apparently sweet things to us through Uddhav. Now you yourself are also showing us the same path. You say that you are great and that everyone should try for their highest interest to think of you. This explanation is found in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, so, and now Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja speaking again. He says, this explanation is found in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The gopis tell Krishna, do you think we are yogis who will be satisfied with abstract meditation on you? Can we be satisfied by imagination? We are not a party to that. Neither are we karmis, fruit of workers, who are incurring a great debt from nature, who come to your door to get relief praying, oh God, please relieve us from all our previous sins. We do not belong to either of these two sections. What are we? We want to live with you. Sorry, what are we? We want to live with you as your family. We are interested neither in abstract thinking, nor in using you to clear off the faults of karma to nullify our sinful activities. We don't want to use you for any other purpose. We want to have a direct family life with you. Don't you know that? And still, you send messages through Uddhav. And now this. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? This is their inner meaning. Sorry, now I'm going into a whole other reading here, but I have to, I can't, yeah, I have to finish. All right, so Krishna's inner answer on Haribol Sarveshwari Mataji and Chatamaya Mataji and Shasharmaji, Hare Krishna. Okay, so Krishna's inner answer. Krishna's answer also has an inner aspect. He replies, "You know, everyone wants me. Through devotion, they want me to help them attain the highest position in the world of eternal benefit. If they have a connection with me, they consider themselves fortunate. But on the other hand, I consider myself fortunate because I have come in touch with the valuable affection that I found in your hearts." The gopis read the inner meaning in that way. And when Radharani could see into the inner meaning of Krishna's reply, she became satisfied. Wherever he may be in the physical sense, she thought, at heart, he is mine alone. She composed her troubles within and returned to Vrindavan, thinking, he cannot but come to join our party again very soon. In Padyavali, Srila Rupa Goswami reveals the inner meaning of this verse. When Krishna came to the camp of the gopis in Kurukshetra, he suddenly found Srimati Radharani and stooped down as if to touch her feet. Radharani began backing away, saying, "What are you doing? You're trying to touch my feet?" She shuddered. "You have done nothing wrong. You are my master. You are at liberty to do whatever you want. I am your maidservant and should try with every nerve to satisfy you. You have committed no crime. I am the criminal. How? I still drag on my body and life. This is my crime. I could not die from your separation. Still, I show my face to the public. I am not worth your divine affection. The whole burden of breaking the law of love is on my head. Not a bit of divine love." In this way, Srimati Radharani spoke. And in a similar verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "Na prema gandosti darapi me haro, grandami sobhagya bharam prakashitum, vangshi vilasyanana lokanam vina, vibharmi yat prana patangakan vrita." I have not even a bit of divine love for Krishna within me. Not even a scent of love for Krishna is to be traced within me. You may ask, then why are you shedding tears profusely, uninterruptedly? Day and night, you're always shedding tears for Krishna. How do you explain this? So, you don't know. I only do this to make a show and deceive the people in general into thinking that I have divine love for Krishna. In this way, I want to become famous as a great devotee of Krishna. But I am a hypocrite. Why do I say so? The positive proof is this: I still live. I could not die. If I had any real love for Krishna, I would have died from his separation. That is the positive proof that I have no trace of Krishna Prem within me. Krishna Prem is so high and attractive that once coming into contact with it, no one can maintain his life without it. It is so high, so beautiful, so enchanting. It is heart-swallowing. It is impossible even to conceive of it. Divine love of such a high degree is known as prem. That divine love for Krishna is not to be traced in this mundane world. If by chance someone had any experience of that high and vital kind of devotion, then by any separation from that, he would die instantly. It is so beautiful and magnanimous. We are out to search only for that divine love in this world. And Sriman Mahaprabhu came to distribute that to the world for our sake. Okay, I think maybe we should well, we only have 2 minutes left to read, and so maybe I'll just read till the end because, of course, we're not going to go to the biography now. We're too far into this. So, let us take poison. I have heard that a group of people in South America committed collective suicide because they felt that their faithful way of life was going to be destroyed by the present civilization. They could not tolerate that, but rather they thought, let us take poison and leave this world behind. Then we can live safely in the world of our faith. We have no charm for anything in this mundane world. Let us go with peace. We are members of the peaceful world. Let us enjoy that peace which is independent of material acquisition. We can agree that there is no charm here that shall make us, we can agree that there is no charm here that shall make us hesitate to withdraw from this world. But we must also disagree and say that our life in this world is valuable. Why? With this life, we can acquire a higher aspiration. We can have the chance of acquiring the goal from this plane. This human life is so valuable that with it, we can take the path of the highest divine conception. This human body is highly valued and rarely achieved. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.9.29, it is stated, Labdva sadurlabhamidam bahusambhavante manusyamartadama nityamapi hadira durnam yate tanapater anubrityu yavan nishreyasaya vishaya kalusarvata syat. The human form of life is very rarely attained, and although temporary, gives us a chance to achieve the supreme goal of life. Therefore, those who are grave and intelligent should immediately strive for perfection before another death occurs. There are so many forms of life, the aquatics, the vegetable kingdom, the animals, the birds, ghosts, and other living beings. But only in this human position do we hold the key to the complete solution of the problems of life. If we can use this human life in a valuable way, we can acquire the key by which we can become free from the whole chain of life in this troublesome world. We can get rid of the bondage of all sorts of physical and mental troubles. The key is here in this human form of life. Jiva Goswami says that lower life forms have insufficient understanding to realize the highest truth. And in the higher life forms, such as demigods, because previously acquired energy or karma has accumulated on all sides, the chief enjoying elements are surrounding the living being. It is difficult to escape the charm of those influences and begin the prospect of a fresh life in a higher plane of consciousness. So this human form of life is the most advantageous position to escape this entanglement and reach the highest object of our divine life. Sometimes people ask, this is the highest conception of magnanimity, and I'll end with this. So sometimes people ask, why did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu choose to give the highest conception of divine love, Krishna Prem, this is the highest conception, to the lowest class of people, to the people of Kali Yuga? But that is the very nature of Sri Chaitanya Avatar. Why did the gopis, who are considered to be the most exalted devotees, come from a neglected social position? What is the meaning of the highest conception of magnanimity? What should be its nature? To help the most needy. And because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes from the highest position, he cannot give ordinary things, and his attention must be drawn to the most needy. Is it unnatural? The highest magnanimity must take notice of the lowest and most needy. And if he wants to help them, he will do so with his own coin. He cannot distribute to them only glass or stone chips. When he has the opulence of jewels and gems, why should he search for stone chips to distribute to the lowest level? He must extend to the lowest and poorest people what he thinks to be real wealth. Anyhow, I'm gonna, because it's already 8:03, so I'm gonna end here. Okay, just this paragraph here. It's so beautiful. Okay, so we should all fall at the feet of the great Messiah, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. His devotees say, if we had to conceive of a place where Gauranga had not appeared, we could not maintain our lives. We shudder to think of living without such a magnanimous friend as Sri Gauranga. How could one live his life without Gauranga? It is impossible. The world is not worth living. The world is not worth living in without Gauranga. Sri Gauranga is most magnanimous. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, the Panchatattva, have come to raise all souls from their fallen condition. Generally, only deserving persons can gain entrance into Vrindavan, into Krishna Lila. But as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself has come down to cure the offenders of their offenses and to grant them the entrance into Vrindavan. Simply by chanting the names of the Panchatattva and by remembering their Leela, we can be purified even from the lowest position and prepare for participation in Vrindavan Leela. In Goloka Vrindavan, Radha Govinda are enjoying their pastimes of divine love within their own circle. And there is another quarter where Radha Govinda are combined as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself in the mood of Radha, and that is, Krishna himself in the mood of Radharani is tasting his own sweetness with his entourage. We have to realize this through the recommended process. Who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He came here to bestow upon us the gift that will promote us to the highest goal of life. To bring Sri Gauranga nearer to our soul is to get, even unconsciously, a guarantee of our achievement in Krishna Lila. Oh my God, Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja, his Hari Katha is just so beautiful. But okay, we're gonna end here because we're 5 minutes over time. So Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. All right, so tomorrow we will continue on reading this biography of Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja. I just want to go back to reading Golden Volcano of Divine Love. We did read this book before once on our online programs. You can find it, and I have it on the YouTube page, the collection of them. But all right, so let's oh, now for all of those who have to go now, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you for joining. See you tomorrow. And then for those of you who are joining our Chaturmasya program, we are going to go now through the second Yam Sadhan. So this is this program we are not, this isn't like actually we're practicing this right now. This is just to become familiar with these prayers so that we can practice it on our own. So here, this is our second day doing it. My second day ever reciting any of these verses or anything. Okay, so. And if you want to find it, it's on my website, vineofdevotion.com. And then, oops, 1 second, let me just make this big. At the top of the page, here, at the top of the page, you'll see it says Ashta Yam Sadhan. So now we did the Pratam Yam Sadhan for 2 weeks. And now just yesterday we started Vidya Yam Sadhan, and we'll do that until Baladev Purnima every day. Okay. So this Prata Kaliya Bhajan, this is bhajan at the time Kaliya, Kal of Prata. Prata means morning. And this time of the day for the sadhak represents anartha nivritti in sadhu sangha. So in the association of sadhus, we engage in bhajan, we follow the instructions, and then our anarthas start to fly away. This is anartha nivritti. And so this is the approximately 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Nam namakari bahuda nij sarva shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaiva midrishamiha janina nuraga. You have manifested all your potency. Nam Nam Akari, Akari, you have manifested Bahuda, these many names. And Tatra, in these names, you have Arpita, you have placed your Nija Sarvashaktis, all of your potencies. And there's no Niyamita, na Niyamita, there's no restrictions, no rules in the regarding time, Kal. So at any time, any condition, um, you have not made any restrictions in remembering these names. Smarane means in remembering these names. Etadrishi tabakripa, such is your mercy. O Bhagavan, mamapi durdaivam. However, mama, my durdaivam, my misfortune, idrisham is such that iha, in these names, ajani nanuraga, no anurag has awakened. Now, these are the verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila. On this verse, 3 verses. Aneka lokera vancha, aneka prakar, kripate korilo anek namer prachar. The desires of the innumerable living entities are of infinite varieties. Therefore, out of compassion, Krishna propagated his countless names. Kaite shuite jatha tatha namaloy, kal desha niyam nahi sarva siddhi hoy. Whether eating, sleeping, or being in any situation, there are no restrictions of time, place, or rules in regards to chanting the name. Yet, it bestows all perfection, the perfection of bhakti. Sarva Shakti Name Dila Koriya Vibhag, Amar Durdaiva Name Nahi Anurag. The Lord has invested all his potencies in his names, but my misfortune is that I have no attachment to them. So it's a paradox. Even though it's the topmost thing and he's giving it so easily, my great misfortune is that I still, even though he's made it so easy and he's giving us the topmost thing, still I have no attachment for them. I have no anurag. And now the song by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I'll read the translation and we'll sing it. Actually, maybe let's do it verse by verse. Yeah, let's do that. So, you are an ocean of mercy, tuhu doya sagar. To deliver the living beings, taraite prani, you have brought and taught your innumerable holy names. So, nama anekatua, your names innumerable, yours. So, your innumerable names, nama anekatua, shikaoli ani. You have brought and shikaoli, and you have taught these your holy names. You have invested your full potency, shakala shakati. You have invested your full potency, dei. You have given that. Tohara means your name, in your names. And grahane rakilo nahi kal vichar. And you have kept for in grahane, in chanting these names and taking these names, you have kept no kal vichar. You have kept no considerations, no restrictions regarding kal, regarding time. Yeah. There's no consideration of time when they may be chanted. Vichara means no consideration. Na vichara, I mean. The touchstone of Shrinam is equal to you. Shrinam Chintamani, the Chintamani of Shrinam, Tohari Samana, is the same as you, is equal to you, Tohari. Vishve Bilaoli Karunanidan. And within this universe, Bilaoli, you have distributed this Nidan, this storehouse, this treasure house of Karuna, of compassion. You have distributed this treasure house of mercy throughout the entire creation. Tua Daya Aichanam. Such is your supremely magnanimous, such is your mercy. Parama Udara, your supremely magnanimous compassion. Oh, whoops, I have to fix that translation. It says Doya and Udara, which kind of mean the same thing. Doya means compassion, and Udara means magnanimity. Oh, anyways, that's enough. So Atishai Mandanat Bhaga Hamara, O Lord, but Hamara Bhaga, my luck, my bhaga is such that it's Atishai Manda. It is extremely manda, poor. Oh, not, O Lord. Why? Nahi janamalo name anurag more. My anurag for Sri Nam in the name Name has never awakened. Nahi janamalo. Thus, the heart of Bhakti Vinod is overcome with sorrow. Bhakti Vinod Chitta, Bhakti Vinod Thakur's heart, Dukhe Vibhor is overwhelmed with dukh, with sorrow. Okay, so now, and this song, as I mentioned yesterday, was sung while Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada entered Nitya Lila. This song and Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Tuhu daya sagara taraite prani namayane katua shikaoliani sakala shakati de name tohara গ্রহণে রাখিল নাহি ও কাল বিচারা শ্রী নাম চিন্তাও মানি তোহারি সমানা ও বিশ্বে বিলালি করুণা নিদান तुआ दया ऐचना परमयोदारा अतिशय मंदनाथ भाग हमारा नाही जनमलो नामे अनुराग मोर भक्ति विनोद चित्त दुखे विभोर ओ भक्ति विनोद चित्त दुखे विभोर. And now we come to these verses from Bhajanahasya. Text 43 says, a one-pointed devotee engages only in kirtan and remembrance of Sri Hari. He has no relish for engaging in other topics. Ekanta bhaktir matra kirtana smaran anya parve ruchi nahi hoy pravartan. He serves Sri Krishna with heartfelt emotion, with bhav, and gradually his natural spontaneous devotional mood, his swarasiki bhav, becomes awakened. Yeah, it becomes awakened. It doesn't say and intensified. I'll have to remove that. It is awakened, this swarasiki bhav. And I need to figure out how to explain swarasiki, because it's a very deep word. But anyways, for now, it's this natural spontaneous devotional mood. So, what is it? Bhaver sahita hoy Shri Krishna sevan swarasiki bhav krame hoy uddipan. Though the actions and expressions of a one-pointed devotee arise from deep spontaneous love, from rag, they are nonetheless not opposed to scriptural injunctions. Ekanta bhaktir kriya mudra ragodita Tathapi she sab nahe vidhi viparita. Even if one gives up everything else, it is extremely difficult to renounce the desire for name and fame, this pratishdasha. One who is mature and experienced will strive diligently to give it up. Sarvatyaga korileo, even though you may have given up everything, chara sukotin, it's very extremely difficult. Sukotin, extremely difficult. Chara, to give up this pratishdasha tyage, to give up this pratishdasha, jatna paibe praveen. Sorry. Whoops. Sorry. So, sarvatyaga korileo, chara sukotin. So, even though one may have given up everything, sarvatyag korileo, chara sukotin, to give up this pratishtha is sukotin, extremely difficult. But those who are praveen, who are mature and who are experienced, they're jatna paibe. They will get this. They will be very careful. They'll very diligently endeavor to give up this pratishtha. Pratishtha shatyagi jatna paibe praveen. Prabhat. Okay, sorry. Now, at dawn, in the dead of night, at midday, and at dusk, one should abandon all anarthas and take shelter of the holy name. Prabhate gobhir ratre madhyahne sandhyay anartha chariya lao namer ashray. Whoever performs kirtan and smaran in this way quickly receives Krishna's mercy and easily crosses over the ocean of material existence. E rupe kirtana smarana jay kore Krishna kripa hoy shigra anayase tore. Sorry. By chanting Krishna's name with faith, with shraddha, in the association of saints, sadhu sangha, all anarthas are destroyed. This is anartha nivritti. And firm determination, nishta, arises. This is the sequence. This is the progression in sadhan. Shraddha to sadhu sangha to anartha nivritti, and then nishta. Pratakale nitya lila koribe chintan. Wait, did I read this? Shraddha kori sadhu sange Krishna namaloy anartha shakala jai nishta upajai. Okay, now 8th verse. This is the last verse. At dawn, one should meditate upon Krishna's eternal pastimes, Krishna's nitya lila. Through continual contemplation, this meditation becomes the means of cultivating and establishing one's devotional mood, one's bhav. So, pratakale nitya lila koribe chintan, chintite bhaver hoibe sadhan. Okay, so now what is that lila? What is this prata lila that's being mentioned? It's in the first verse of the second chapter of Govinda Lila Mrita. Radham snata vibhushitam vrajapaya hutam sakhi prage tadgehe vihitanna pakarachanam krishnavasheshashanam krishnam buddhamavaptadenu sadanam nirvyudagodohanam susnatam krita bhojanam sahacharais tang chatta tang chashraye. So in the early morning, Sri Radha is bathed, adorned, and called for by the Queen of Raj through her Sakhis. She then cooks in Yashoda's house and eats the remnants of Krishna. Similarly, Sri Krishna awakens at the same time and he goes to the cowshed, completes the milking of the cows, is well bathed, and eats along with his companions. I take shelter of her and of him. Very simple verse. The Sanskrit's very easy to understand also. Okay, so now the song by Śrīla Bhakti Thakur, and then that's the end of today's program. So, Radha snata vibhushita Shri Yashoda samahuta Saki shange tar grihe gamana तथा कविरचन Shri Krishna Vasheshashnana Madhye Madhye Duhara Milana Krishna Nidra Parihari Koshte Godohana Kori Snana Shana Sahachara Sange E Lila Chinta Koro Nama Preme Gara Gara Prate Bhakta Jana Sange Range E Lila Chinta Ar Koro Sankirtana Achire Paibe Tumi Bhava Udipana. Okay, so Shri Radha is bathed, she is snata and vibhushita, she's adorned. And Shri Yashoda Samahuta, she is called for, she's beckoned or summoned by Shri Yashoda. And so Shaki Shange, so in the company of the Sakis, Tad Grihe Gamana, they move to Tad Grihe, that means Yashoda's house. Tata, and there, Paka Virachan, and they engage in cooking. And Shri Krishna Avashesha Ashan. She eats Krishna's avashesh, that means his remnants. Ashan means eats, avashesh means remnants, Krishna. Krishna avashesh ashan. And madhe madhe, and from time to time, dunhar milan, the two meet. So even in that morning time, when Srimati Radhika goes to cook for Krishna and Krishna wakes up and goes to milk the cows, from time to time they also both meet very quickly. Of course, then Krishna Nidra Parihari. So Krishna gives up his sleep and Goshte go Dohana Kori. And he goes in the Goshta, in the pastures, and go Dohan Kori. And having milked the cows, Snan, he bathes, Ashan, and he eats, Sahachara Sange, in the company of his Sahachara, of his friends. So, E Lila Chinta Koro. So, remember this Lila. Chinta Koro means remember. E Lila, this Lila. Nam Preme Gara Gara. And in love for the name, Nam Preme Gara Gara, with your voice choked up, right? Or no? No, Gara Gara means overwhelmed. I remember. I looked up this word. Yeah, Gara Gara means overwhelmed. I was thinking of Gad Gada, but this is Gara Gara. This means overwhelmed with love for the name. Prate Bhakta Jana Shangarange. In the morning time, Bhakta Jan Sange, in the company of the devotees of the Bhakta Jan, Range, delight in this way. Or relish, delight. E lila chinta ar koro sankirtan. So remember this lila and do sankirtan. Perform sankirtan. Achire paive tumi bhav udipan. And very quickly, achire means very quickly. Paibe, you will get, tumi, you, bhav udipan. You will, this awakening or this bhav will be stimulated within your heart. Okay, so this is the Dvitiya Yam Sadhan. This is for from 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Okay, so that's our program for today. Oh, I didn't sing Mahamantra. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swapar Shachi Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gana Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Jai Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Bhajan Hasya Ki Jai, and Jai Shri Chaitanya Shikshashtak Ki Jai, Jai Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pads, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Govinda Lilamrita Ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai, the golden volcano of divine love Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, Satyavatai Namo Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat pranams Nari Hari Prabhu Bhavatarani Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji, Champak Mataji, and on YouTube and Facebook. You see Ganga Mataji, Vidyalala Sadidi, Shipad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams Maharaj, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Bilva Mangal Prabhu, Shama Didi, Shipad Bhakti, Manani Radha Didi, Sharmaji, Raseshwari Mataji, Indira Mataji, and all devotees also watching in the future, like Jaydev Prabhu, Shachi Devi, Revati Didi, and Manjari Didi, and everybody else. Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you all tomorrow. Is there anything anybody wants to mention before I end our stream for today? Okay, see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Haribol, Haribol Sarveshwari.